This month, the opinion pages of newspapers across the country had a united message, defending modern journalism amid intensifying criticism from the president. The Arizona Daily Star featured its own editorial, which included an illustration from its longtime editorial cartoonist, David Fitzsimmons, whose work also appears in hundreds of papers nationwide. His career spans 30 years. We asked him how his job has changed over time and the role he has as a member of the Free Press.
I would describe myself as a patriot who expresses his views in visual form in a great American newspaper.
A patriot, you know, there are people who are watching, people who are subscribers who would say, I've seen his material, and I would disagree.
That's right. Well, I am what is called the loyal opposition. I admire and love the ideals of our founding revolutionaries.
This day and age, it's a politically divisive place out there.
Very divisive.
Do you think you're contributing to some of what's taking place, or are you just shining a mirror on what's happening out there?
I think it's a combination of both, actually. My sense of it is I want to express my views about what is occurring in the modern age and let the cliched chips fall where they may. Some people will see that expression of my view as treasonous, uncharitable character assassination of a fine man. We're talking about the President of the United States. Others will see it as fair commentary in a perilous time. And either reaction makes me happy because what I do want is for my work to provoke a reaction one way or the other. If I don't get mail, and in particular if I don't get hate mail after a period of time, I feel a little bit despondent. It's like I'm not doing my job.
Some of the responses are available for all to hear. On Facebook, Fitzsimmons regularly plays voicemail from readers, both the good.
I just wanted to tell you how much we appreciate your cartoons in the paper. Thanks for doing such a good job, and keep up the good work.
And the bad.
I read your garbage today in the paper, and I'm going to cancel this paper because of it.
First and foremost, I do find it somewhat spiritually corrosive to be exposed to it. So I always struggle to maintain perspective that these writers or these angry folks represent a minority in terms of the level of rage. However, I can't help but feel a despair for the future of our republic that such individuals holding such what I believe are fundamentally anti-American viewpoints are out there. But, you know, it's just part of this great democratic republic that we have to accept.
You ever push the wrong button that even you say, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I was a bit too harsh on that one group of people?
Almost never in a cartoon, because a cartoon is bloodshed-free expression. And if it hurts, gee, I'm sorry it hurts. But I do feel sometimes when I've responded to reader criticism, when it's from an angry critic who's seeking dialogue, that from time to time I have been perhaps a little too dismissive, which I'm very cautious about now.
Fair to say you hit Donald Trump a bit harder than you hit Barack Obama.
Absolutely. I'm as partisan as you can get. Most political cartoonists, I would say all political cartoonists, are partisan. I've met my colleagues at cartoonist conferences, and we fall into camps. We all have native perspectives that we grew old with, whether it's a conservative or a liberal.
David likes scalp massages while he draws.
One of those colleagues is Chris Britt, a nationally syndicated columnist who lives in Tucson, who, like Fitzsimmons, is outspoken against the president. I asked both about the thought process they regularly go through when creating comics. There's obviously a lot for you to write about. How do you decide what I need to write about today? Will it still be relevant tomorrow? Will people find humor enjoying it?
My first parameter is what will readers be aware of in the news cycle? What's the top story that's on their mind? You know, occasionally I'll find a minor story that really interests me, but I'll have to dismiss it because it's not in what I would call general knowledge pool.
My job is I do all national work or international work. But Trump has, sucked the oxygen out of the room. So it's almost every day for me. It's been, for a year, it's been Trump cartoons.
On that note, I challenged the two cartoonists to come up with an illustration on the spot. Let's have some fun. I want to see you guys draw.
The challenge always is, what can I draw today that was better than the 9,000th cartoon I drew yesterday?
I prompted them to venture out of their comfort zones and draw something positive about the president.
That he's done positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I do like to do is create the illusion that my cartoons were drawn quickly. And that sometimes can be time-consuming.
This was their interpretation.
Some tiki torch sales have skyrocketed in some regions of the country due to the president's nudge.
Every time Trump goes away from the White House, it gives the country a chance to fumigate the White House while he's gone.
I feel that if anyone's going to hold an opinion that is a lightning rod or it's a fiery opinion, it has to be the editorial cartoonists. The editorial cartoonists are the canary in the coal mine. We are the provocateurs, and I happily take up that task.
You acknowledge that you can encourage people to think one way or to perhaps become more vocal about it.
I'm not so confident about that. I do believe that I can encourage people who share my views and annoy people who don't share my views, but I really think a cartoon has the impact perhaps of a bumper sticker. You're driving in traffic, you glance at it, you might agree, or you might disagree, idiot, and then move on. So a cartoon, I think, might lodge in a person's psyche for a second or two and then evaporate, and then it's on to the next day's cartoon.
Okay, thank you.
Ah, you're welcome.